Hello and welcome to the program. I'm Layo Adegoke. We begin in Kenya, where a rescue operation is underway in the capital after a residential building collapsed. 2 people have been confirmed killed, and eyewitnesses say at least 9 people have been pulled from the rubble and taken to hospital. Local media says people were living in the building before it fell down, but the ground floor had already been abandoned. It is unclear how many people are still trapped and what caused the collapse, but building collapses are common in Nairobi, where housing is in high demand and regulations are not enforced. A recent survey conducted by Kenya's National Construction Authority found that more than half the city's buildings were unfit for habitation. Let's get more on this from a Kenyan journalist, Cyrus Ombati. He joins us from Nairobi via phone. Thank you so much for joining us. What is the update at this time with the rescue operation ongoing?
What I can tell you is that the rescue mission is we're still ongoing at the site where a 6-story building, residential building, collapsed in Tasia Estate, which is about 10 kilometers from Nairobi CBD. This is a building that had been occupied by 57 houses, or rather units over where people are living. And it collapsed, I think, because of a poor structural kind of pillars which they had, the house had. And so far, all efforts to rescue those who are trapped there, if any, are ongoing. And so far, they have rescued, rather evacuated 12 people, and they have recovered 3 bodies. And it's going to take some time, according to authorities on the ground.
Okay, so will there be any sanctions for the building contractors, perhaps?
The collapse of the building is not new in Nairobi, because similar incidents have happened in the past. We believe that lack of inspection and a poor structural kind of inspection approvals by authorities here is the cause of all these problems. So far, looking at the manner in which the slabs are lying on each other, it shows that the pillars were weak. Imagine from the ground floor up to 6th floor, all the 7 slabs are lying on each other, kind of showing that the pillars between or within the floors were very weak to sustain any kind of weight from above. Nairobi, it has been raining heavily, and we believe that the ground was wet, and it was bound to happen. The area is poorly kind of inspected, or the drainage is poor, and the ground was weak that could have led to the collapse. There has been a report in the past that showed that most structures in Nairobi are dangerous. They are not safe for residing, especially in the informal settlement areas in the Eastlands. So it's not a surprise to many Nairobians. Even now, many are saying, oh, it has happened. So it's meaning they were expecting that to happen.
Yeah, like you said, a recent survey conducted by Kenya's National Construction Authority finds that more than half the city's buildings are fit for habitation. What is the government really doing to improve safety standards and, to prevent similar incidents?
Obviously, what we expect next is action from the government, rounding up the officials who approved the structure, the owners who built it, and anybody who was behind the whole issue. So we're just waiting to hear what comes next, because that's the next thing. That it may take now up to maybe Monday, because removing all the rubble from the area, it may take time, the whole weekend. Good luck is that the entire day it has not rained, as it has happened in the past days. But we expect rains to come in the next 2 or 3 hours, which may now slow down the rescue mission. Most structures in Nairobi, is true, they are poor. They're poorly constructed. It's out of greed, corruption, lack of inspection, and all the manner of greediness that you may want to mention. The government has been threatening to take action on these kind of structures by pulling them down. But you see, most of the owners of these houses, they have money. They usually run to court, where they obtain orders to stop the planned pulling down of the structures. So that itself now kind of delays or stops the plans to bring them down. It's I mean, it has been a threat from successful governments, but the problem is still there. It's a matter of time again now, before we hear more of such incidents.
Well, thank you very much, Kenyan journalist Cyrus Ombati speaking to us there from Nairobi. Moving on to other stories now, a cyclonic storm is expected to arrive on the Somali coast on Saturday morning. The best estimate says the storm, named Pawan, will reach south of Puntland region near Il. It has winds of up to 75 kilometers per hour, but is expected to weaken as it approaches land. The seas are reported to be rough currently, and fishermen have been advised to stay away from the waters off the coast of Somalia for the next 2 days. Rainfall is forecast to intensify before subsiding once the storm arrives on land. Unusually heavy rains have been pounding most of Eastern Africa for weeks now, causing floods and landslides. The adverse weather conditions in recent weeks have already killed more than 100 people and displaced hundreds of thousands across the region.